Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. Your spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
You are watching the review of Liberian newspapers' headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
And so let's say welcome to all of you, wherever you're watching from. We want to say welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia discussions. My name is Linford Goer, here in Norway, and my colleague Francis Mensah is in Sweden. Tonight, we're going to be trying to bring you some information as they unfold in the country. And we also want to urge you to help us share the show. And let me say welcome to my colleague. Francis, welcome. It looks great from your end. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm charged for tonight's edition. No, all is well. How are you? How are you, my man?
Well, I'm okay. Weather-wise, everything is okay. And today is the 19th of May 2025. 2 days ago, on Sunday, we had our National Day. That is what we call National Day here. But actually, in Liberia, we call it Independence Day. Like how we, from Liberia, we have July 26th as Independence Day. So Sunday, the 17th of May, was Norway's National Day, as they call it. And so we had a great celebration, and everything was okay. And I guess a lot of people are still in the mood, though. But the difference with Norway, and I guess also with Sweden and Liberia, is that if our national holidays fall on Saturday or Sunday, we forward it to the next working day, right? Like on Monday. Mm-hmm. But that is not the case here. Here, if it falls on Sunday, well, it's on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, because on Monday, they have other things to do, so you cannot postpone it. And I don't know, sometimes, and do you think that's the reason why sometimes we, Africa just got problem because we don't prioritize the days? I mean, a national holiday that fell on a particular weekend, and then you transfer it to a working day.
Excuse me.
And do other things. So
I think the problem, the people economy is so mechanized in the sense that they can't afford to have 3 days of celebration like because they always have the Christmas, but even though people work the Christmas Eve to Monday, people do work though. But there's no room for celebration like that, So,
no, but again, I don't know. In Sweden, I mean, when I was there, I say don't remember.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
bro.
but in Norway, sometimes we have a lot of holidays which are very unnecessary. I remember. Okay, I'm reading the office, so let me check. Sometimes in March, in April, just in April, we have a series of holidays that are connected from,
Those are because I understand post then Christian, just last week Thursday was some holiday were European, those who have the connected to the Anglican church or whatever church you were, the Pentecostal churches actually celebrate that day. Where I think, I don't know the translation. I think it was Ascension Thursday.
The Ascension of Christ.
Yeah, Ascension Thursday.
Okay. But what the case is, we do not postpone or transfer the holiday to the next day. If it falls on Sunday, fine. If it falls on Friday, fine. We'll celebrate it. And if it falls on Wednesday, we still celebrate that particular day. But let's say welcome to all of our viewers, or if you join us, all you can do for us is help us to share the show, or let's say welcome to Mitch, Chadela Brown, Play, and the rest of you whose name we do not see. All you need to do is give us a hi or thumbs up, and then we will be able to help you to recognize you. Somebody is asking E.J. Ray or Ajay Ray is asking what's the topic for today. It's a lot to discuss, J. Ray, so just invite your friend and sit with us, and we're going to take you through. So we're going to take a quick musical break, and when we come back, we'll be delving into some of what we'll be discussing. So while we take a break, help us to share the show.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not the I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed and not unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. Fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people don't want to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work, but people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed and not unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. Your spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
So just in case you just joining, all we want to say welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia discussions. My name is Linford Goa again, and together with my colleague Francis Mensah, we're going to be bringing you more information right here as they unfold. But we just want to say that sorry for coming on late. We had a little bit of technical issues. You know, these gadgets sometimes play up, but then we have to maintain what we do. So, Francis, tonight we're going to look at general topics, just anything that comes to our mind, because instead of confining ourselves to one particular topic or just a group of issues, we look at general issues in Liberia. But one of the main ones that we'll be talking about is the expulsion of Yeke Koluwa from the House of Representatives. And Yeke, according to the House, made a statement that was counterproductive to peace, and it was unpatriotic. The fact that he gave his opinion on the issue at the border, and for that, a group of lawmakers, his colleagues, went together and filed in a complaint that he should be expelled, which happened. And as we speak, Yeke remains suspended or expelled, and so it means that, and it's almost 30 days after, right? And so it means that he may not be going back to the Capitol building if everything remains constant. But according to the House's own rule, if a member is expelled or in case of death, any cause of absence from that particular position or position in the House of Representatives that creates vacancy in the House, the House of Representatives is supposed to or should inform the National Elections Commission of that vacancy that existed either as a result of death or expulsion, like what happened in Yeke's case, so that the Elections Commission will announce that vacancy to the public, and people who want to vie for that position can begin to express their interest and probably begin to campaign. That is 30 days after, and that is supposed to be 1 month after. But of late, or since this thing happened, since April 17, Yeke was expelled from the House. Up to now, the National Election Commission, according to information reaching us, has not been formally informed by the House of Representatives that one of their colleagues have been expelled, thus creating that vacancy that needs to be filled, because the people of district number 10 will not just be open like that. So there's conflict. Now, according to reports in the House, that certain group of lawmakers are saying, no, we should have informed the House of Representatives, or the National Elections Commission about the vacancy. And so this is a conflict in the House right now. But the confusion here is, why is it that the House has not informed the National Elections Commission? Are they thinking about bringing back Yeke Koluwa, or is it because the case is still in court? Or what's happening? What's going on here?
Look, I'm not a parliamentarian or neither a lawyer, but I think the speculation that Yeke, this differs with the presumption that Yeke is expelled. Is a troubling, because he has already been expelled. So the ruling from the legislature, the House of Representatives at the time, clearly states that Yeke is expelled. So I'm not okay with how they go about informing the National Elections Commission about the vacancy that exists. It might be some technical, procedural problems that they have, but I don't think they're gonna go back
Okay,
on that discussion.
yeah, let me get help you here. Let me get help you here with a right now. And we are quoting from the front page Africa. It says that constitutional questions. The House's failure to notify the National Elections Commission within 30 days, as required under Article 37 of the 1986 Constitution, has now become the latest source of contention. Article 37 of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia, okay, provides that whenever a vacancy occurs in a legislature due to death, resignation, expulsion, or otherwise, the presiding officer must notify the NEC, that is the National Elections Commission, within 30 days, so that a by-election can be organized within 90 days. So, and then the critics are arguing that the constitutional language is clear and does not provide for any exception for legal breaks or holidays. Okay, so the refusal of the House of Representatives to declare.
I understand what you're saying, but these things, the first the government has always been, that's a record of what you call it, going around, laid back and going around the Constitution and playing, these kind of that's a difficult aspect, but with intent, intentionally. So it might be that they are, in total disregard of the Constitution, the provision that says that they need to have report that vacancy to the National Elections Commission. So it could be either way, but I think it's dereliction of authority, responsibility, especially when it comes to the chief clerk or whoever or the speaker, to inform the legislature if there's any procedure that is that has been organized again or retried or whatever the legal term is, they should inform the public. They should go about informing.
But yeah, and I think you struck a good point, Francis. The fact that the government, because you cannot separate any branch of this, the three branches of government, you cannot separate one from the others. Okay, they all intertwined, they all interrelated. I mean, they all kind of have different functions, though, but you cannot divorce one from the other. So if the legislative branch is clearly violating the Constitution, I don't know the intention, but like you clearly said, probably with the intent of just ignoring the law. And so then how does this body become functional? Because remember that they made the law, right? Okay, and the executive that is supposed to execute the law is on their side in breaking the law that they make. So how does that function? So where does the judiciary begin and end? Because the thing is, the judiciary is not going to interpret the law and tell you, this is what you're supposed to do. If you do this, this is what you're supposed to do. And that is what is clearly defined in Article 37 of the 1986 revised Constitution. It says that in case of anything like death, resignation, expulsion, you're supposed to announce it to the public within 30 days. And then within 90 days, there should be elections. So 30 days gone already, from April 17 until now. No announcement from the House to NEC and say, well, one of us is out. So roughly the 30 days, the 90 days period has collapsed by one month already, 30 days. So we got 2 more months. So are they going to announce it in the second 30 days, the second quarter, or are they going to not announce it? I mean, we don't understand. I mean, I'm not asking you to answer this question because you and I clearly have no answer to this question. It should go to them, but just brainstorming around it. should there be any reason why they doing it? They want this one can be open, or because this is not an appointed position to say the president has the executive power to appoint anybody there. So what are they intending to do?
And Lynn, for as I said, it could be so many reasons. It could be, ulterior motives. It could be something that is actually designed to delay the process of elections. So we could sit there this evening, and have a mountain of ideas here, going through our head, permeating through our head and our brains, what we're trying to think. But I would say this: this is classical. It's a classic example of a lot of leadership too. If there is any room, I say again, if there's any room for such, probably, what do you call it, a retrial, or what you call it, or re-impeachment trial for Yeke, because it's widely speculated that the House is divided. People who they say affix the signature to Yeke's expulsion, they are now reneging that they didn't do that. So I don't know it has any effect on the chief clerk or the speaker, together, communicating that vacancy to the National Elections Commission. I don't know. I think they need to answer. They need to answer us and give clarity, as to why. They are not. They have not sent in that information to the National Elections Commission.
And you keep raising some points that are valid, because the first thing is this question as to why they are delaying. Nobody else can answer, only they. The question again that arises is the delay and do not carry out this process in the stipulated time. What does it benefit them? Because they've already expelled Yeke, right? Good. Everybody knows that Yeke is no more there. So then why are you waiting for? How does it profit you to keep the seat open without anybody going there? And this is not like opposition where the executive will say, okay, we'll appoint our own person there. Or is it that the process is not yet completed, the expulsion process? So if that time, the 1 month that Yeke has been suspended for, is the government going to pay Yeke? Because automatically it means that because they have not announced it, the House had not announced it to the Elections Commission. So we all consider that the Election Commission does not know about it. All they know, Yeke is still in power, but Yeke is not going to work. Yeke is not participating in session. Then you have not announced it. So how does the public interpret that? Does it mean that Yeke still works, or he is still recognized, or is it that they found out that the process was not complete? They didn't do due diligence to the process. No, and you said something that this government is kind of a laid-back government. It's a kind of they go around the constitution all along. They always brush around it instead of going head on. They find a way to go around it. It's like a water. Water does not climb hill. So when the water is flowing down, and that's why if you look at all rivers, no river is so straight. Even like the Nile River is straight at some point, but it still curves because it will not climb the hill. So this government hits obstacle. So when they reach into obstacle, they will always go around it. They go around and try to find a way, navigate into the easiest path. But this one, I think, is going to strangle them somehow. It's going to be difficult to just go around it because There is no way, according to the Constitution, this is a clear violation of the Constitution, and this one is not anything that you can just get around. But okay, fine, they are in power, right? They are supposed to execute the law, you know. But if they go around it, what if the ordinary citizens would do that? So
you see, well, one of our viewers just stressed an important point that they are afraid of public backlash, and ridicule, because the government is getting increasingly insensitive to to issues that is concerning the state of of the country. There are a lot of issues that are not resolved, that are not being clear yet, and the opposition that's supposed to be speaking is basically weak. They just spoke about Yeke's expulsion just a couple of days ago. I mean, I think they just spoke earlier about 1 week or 3 days, during the time the proceeding and to the end. After that, everybody went as usual. Business as usual went quiet. So
and Paul, I think
there's no pressure. There's no pressure. I mean, I don't see anything from the opposition. They should be standing up. I mean, pushing. Hi, this is constitutionally wrong, and but they're not saying anything. So I don't know. So we wait to see.
I agree with you.
What the outcome will be.
I agree with Jefferson Gray. The government is afraid of public backlash, number one. Number two, the government know that what they did was wrong, or let me not squarely place it on the government, because that is 3 separate branches. But the legislature, the lawmakers, the lower house know that what they did was wrong. Number two, and the process is still in court, and so right now they are jammed. They don't know what the court decision is going to be, because guess what? In as much as they exercise their own constitution within their house, that law in their house does not supersede the Constitution of Liberia. I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I stand corrected. Whether any rules, because they call it rules, that law actually any rules in the house.
Well, Alifa, see, that is subject to interpretation, because there are conflicting, now reports that are conflicting interpretation from the House of Representatives and the legislature. Some group says that the rule, they have a rule that is exclusively not connected to the Constitution. So it's like you're running a state within a state. You know what I mean? Yeah, they got their own rules separate from themselves.
Okay. And that Constitution. Those rules cannot be affected by the Constitution. Is that what they say?
Yeah, that's what they say. So and some who are saying that, hey, I mean, the Constitution supersedes our ruling of whatever rules that we have, or what I call it, rule 1 or article, whatever it is. I mean, which doctrine they use to govern themselves. So. Yeah.
Okay. Granted, let me just put it this way. Let me be hypothetical that that there are rules in the house at some point cannot be overruled by the Constitution, right? So it applies to them. So it's like if you are a Liberian, you are a Liberian like me, okay, and you come from a traditional background, you go to join the Poro Bush, the rules there are the rules there. The Constitution of Liberia got nothing to do with the rules there. So that's why they're trying to let us know. Okay, fine, good. So, but again, if you want to join the Poro Bush, I'm just using that as an example, right? So if you went there and you broke you broke the rule there, and your law says that you're supposed to also be replaced. Okay, so I'm just giving them their dose of their own medicine. You'll say the man broke your rule, and so you apply your rule, and this rule cannot be overruled by the Constitution. So then you're removing the man. So why can announce it to the public or to the election commission be able to replace the man, because you're removing the constitution cannot do anything to you guys, right? We agree. Let's take it for granted. Okay, so then why you can't replace the person? And but I think Mr. Gray made a very good point that they are afraid of public backlash. And you spoke, Francis, you spoke about the opposition not doing much. I mean, they spoke, but look at this government. This government will not respect its own laws that make them government. So even if the opposition will come out and parade the streets of Monrovia for 100 days, okay, the government will still pay death. In fact, the government might even deploy more police and say, you'll go and beat them, you'll kill them, you'll do. And so the opposition or the Liberian people have reached a point where they see this government as non-law abiding. They see it as a gangster organization. I'm saying that's what I'm not saying the government's a gangster organization, but I'm saying this is how most of the people in Liberia see it, because the government will not respect the rule of law, their own rule, or their own law that's supposed to guide the entire country, even the president. That law, they know about it. Number two, they will not respect the opposition, because they feel that when your government is leading at the time, the whole country belongs to you. The rest of the people, to hell with them. Sorry for my expression. So the people have reached a point where they say, okay, let's wait. And this is where sometimes I get to feel sorry for the people of Liberia. They say, okay, but what we'll do now? Let's just wait until that 6 year finish. You understand what I mean? Yeah, let's just wait. What we can do? Because you put the people in the street, they'll go tear gas them, they'll go beat them, break their bones for nothing. The government is not willing to abide by the rules. So why would you want to challenge the government when they're not willing to abide by the rules? So I think that's where
look, I mean, that's a session that the people are just waiting for. What will we do? Look, the last 6 years, past 6 years, the Unity Party the Unity Party was very combative. They were agitators, matter of fact. They went after the CDC government every inch of the way. Then they formed this collaboration, the CPP. That even mounted more pressure on the CDC-led government at the time. Although there were some missteps, political missteps on the way of CDC, but hey, they were always put into check. At the time, look, I mean, sanctions were rolling. People were there lobbying for, sanctions on the country, sanctions on government officials. I mean, these things we don't see happening. So the government has been giving a leverage that to do what they want to do. So is the opposition not credible in the eyes of the international community? That's another question.
Well, you got a point. Listen, Liberia is an interesting country, right? Now, these were people yesteryears. 3 years ago, because they have been in power for 3 years. 3 years ago, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were all over the place. They saw all the evils. They had a solution to all of the evils that were happening in the country. They were supposed to fix everything. They were supposed to rescue these Liberian people. But now they are in power. Whether they are rescuing the Liberian people, I'm not the one to say yes or no. The Liberian people will have to feel it. Because, the rain will beat both the good and the evil. Even if you are the evil man, the rain can not say, my man, you the evil man, you are wet. I will lead the good people. So hard time doesn't know good or bad people. Hard time doesn't know partisans. So everybody's going through it. But to the point where they are, I don't want to use that word, but they are not doing, I don't want to use the word fail, but they are not doing what they promised or what they thought they would do, what they told the Liberian people they would do better. They are not doing it. They are doing it their own way, and even worse. So that alone will speak to the mass of the Liberian people. But Yeah, Jefferson, you're still making a point. I mean, we were not in the house. The three people that allegedly did not sign, well, I think those are some of the reasons why they know that this process was not straight. And so they cannot just go ahead and announce to the election commission that, okay, we have created vacancy, we need people to fill it in. So I think there's a lot of things happening there. So if the third house that voted to expel Yeke can be divided against itself, there is something. And so that will even embolden the Supreme Court of Liberia with its decision that it has to run in this case. But let's Muna Cliver is asking, by the way, Muna, welcome. She's one of our strong viewers, a strong supporter. Muna is asking what we want the opposition to do. Yes, your question is good, but the reason why Francis is mentioning the opposition is because it is always the opposition that is supposed to put the ruling establishment in check. Okay, that's why you are opposition. You're sitting there, you're seeing all the missteps, you know what is doing wrongly. So you are there to bring it to their mind. Opposition doesn't really mean all the time that you got to go put people in the street or demonstrate. Right? Mr. Cummings have been doing it in recent time, where he tried to make recommendations to them. Yes, he condemns them, but try to say, okay, we can do it this way. But the Liberian government, all Liberian government that I know, they will not take a fast from opposition because they feel that if they take a fast from the opposition, it will be like, oh yeah, we are failing, so we're taking their idea to succeed, and they will take the glory. Yeah, that's another argument. Liberian people are not victims; they are enablers. Those are all good arguments, okay? And I see where you're coming from because they are the ones who enable their oppressors. They are the ones who enable people who put them into chaos.
The people sanction got everything that is done, good or bad, from either side, the opposition or the ruling establishment. They applaud it. They sanction. They give it some legitimacy, and I think that no, that should be happening in this modern day and age, in time.
But let's recognize two people, and then after that we'll take a quick break. Then we'll come back. Let's recognize Muna Clipper, of course, John N. Sonkale. Hope you stay here. Joel D. Sharif, Alex Newa, Soma Estobo, and of course Mitch Love Mitch, and our sister Chadera Brown Triple, and of course Rogers Blessings. We hope that
Roger Blessings from Germany. He's the vice president for EFLA.
Oh, Rogers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So we got two officials of
Blessing Ralph. And Jefferson Gray as well.
Yeah, we got two officials of EFLA here, the president and the
I wonder to see Ralph. Probably may be the guy. I don't know. Yeah. Go ahead, for interrupting.
But we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, then we'll be continuing what we started discussing already, and we hope that you can stay here with us and make sure that you make your contribution. And like I always said,
that's a blessing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're part of us, then you make us happy to do the program because, of course, without you, we cannot be sitting here and just talking to each other. I will run a conferences on the phone and we'll talk, or Paul or the rest of the guys. But because of you, we are here, and because of us, you are there also. So we want to take this quick break and we'll come back.
Welcome to Your Story, where real lives meet real truth. I'm your host, Francis Mona-Menza, and every week I sit down with remarkable guests to uncover their journeys that shape their lives, the struggle they survive, the breakthroughs they earn, and the lessons that can change your life. This is not just a conversation. This is your story, a life experience that goes deep, gets real, and leaves you with something to think about long after the streams. Join us every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central European Time, live on the BOTTOMLINE Liberia. Don't just watch, be a part of the conversation, because every story matters, especially yours.
the review of Liberian newspapers' headlines that made news during the week on the BOTTOMLINE Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Okay, welcome. But first, let me ask you, this theme song for your program, I like it. I remember that song way back. Who are the artists?
Remember Kakwindi?
Yeah, Kakwindi, yes.
The group of Kakwindi. No, one day, once evening, I was just sitting down and this, this thought came to me, this, idea of, about a show where people, from different backgrounds can come, explain the story, their life journey, especially Liberians who are in the diaspora, because we all have a story, and it does not have to be story that is rosy, at the end, So and I started to think about a theme song, and it came to mind that, okay, because the hustle is on, and then you work simple work, you don't get paid, you know what I mean? So so the company just came to my mind, I said, no, about that. That's just those guys. That song should be able to gel with, the title of the whole podcast. Yeah, it's got. I think his name was Kojo Samuel. Liberian, but he's still a long time in Ghana, so he came back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember that particular band. That was in the middle 70s. I remember that band coming.
Yes, so the 80s. Yes, it is 70s.
Yeah. Their logo was like some black something on the like.
Yeah. There was
looking like karate man, but looking black. You can't see anybody's face. Yes.
Yeah, Afro. They were gonna funk Afro jazz kind of group.
Yeah, and I remember Dogwa Karanda used to play something like that.
He used to play their song on, I think, Music for Morning or something.
Yeah, Music for Morning. I still remember those things.
Yeah.
You see, so my empathy and interest for journalism started a long time ago. I know most of the old guys are on those shows.
Music for Morning,
Yeah, Music for Morning. But guys, back to our Liberian issues. No Liberians like an old car. When you fix the engine, the tire will burst right there. When you put gas inside, then the carburetor don't want to work. So there is something about the issues at the border that people not understanding. The thing about the issues at the border is not, or even dragging down to the expulsion of Yeke. It's not. Yeke is not the greatest factor in this thing. No, I've always said it. Yeke in this whole border issue, Francis, and that's just my own observation. Yeke is the lowest hanging fruit. In fact, like the rotten plum that fall down under the tree, ring being beating the flower and sitting down. That important. The one that hanging, the one that red now, that one you should be going for, because you gotta wash it. You have to get it clean, you can eat it. But because in other words, what I'm trying to say, Yeke is in the House of Representatives. Yeke is a Liberian. Yeke is one of us. Yeke was voted. Yeke can be voted out. All the things go to along with Yeke. But you got the Guineans who will literally have no control over. Okay, the only way we can have control over them, which is that the easiest way, is to use military force, which we cannot use. Okay, the second way we can have control over them is to negotiate, which they say we are doing. But how effectively are we doing it is another question. So, and this is a big disgrace coming to the government, but the government is not aware. You expect one of your own person. And this case has gone, it hasn't officially gone to the ECOWAS, but somebody from the ECOWAS is even commenting on your behavior towards one of your lawmakers in this case. And you, as a government, you're not taking this case anywhere for you stay playing low, you say you're doing diplomacy. And recently, our president came out to make this statement that he is sorry for the internet glitch. My internet is misbehaving. But that they are negotiating with the Guineans. But as we speak, the Guineans are still there. So all this power that our government has to expel its own member, the legislature, and they have the power to even summon the Minister of Defense. They have the power to summon the county authorities in Lofa County where this thing is happening, but they have not done any of that. Well, if they summon any of them have not heard it, okay, but they can use their power to expel one of their colleagues simply because of his opinion, something he said. So the question that a lot of people are asking is, what is being done at this at the border? It's a the usual wait and see thing like you earlier on said, a lucky classical behavior where, yeah, labor, man, government's running. Don't worry about the people at the border. They can be there more, and worker will take pay, all the ministers will take pay. So let's relax. Maybe the Guineans will get one day, they'll get tired one day and say, okay, God, let's pack our low and leave. And I don't know. So what is the government thinking? If you were to imagine, Francis, what the government is thinking right now, what would you say?
No, I think the government.
This question, you're not supposed to be correct or you're not supposed to be wrong, but just
No. I'm not, I know no. I think the government approach, signal a lot of concern, about our sovereignty, as a nation. We have a border that have been encroached upon, and the government just supinely ignoring the fact, I don't know which action they are taking. Are they taking the diplomatic path? Are there consultations behind the scene? Because interestingly and ironically, the president came from one of his trips, I think a couple of days ago, and he said, I want his interviews, he said that Dumia asked him, how's the border situation, Mr. President? Can you imagine that? And
his response is what matters. He said it's okay, everything is okay.
So it just illustrates that there's a disconnect in what the government sees to the public, because if Dumia is pretending not to know what is occurring or what is happening at the border, and ask our president, I think it's demeaning. I think it was very disrespectful. He tried to demean or mock the president, because both sides are having security, intelligence, and they have meeting every morning, especially when it comes to that. So if you know your troops are still deployed at the border, what will you ask our president such a demeaning question, just to play fun. I don't say play fun at president, but I think what the government is thinking, I don't know, but I think they are playing dumb. Yeah, in my mind, they don't want to come up ready to the public that maybe some concessions were made during the president's trip to Guinea, because it will make no sense to me. You have the Guineans deployed at your border for quite a time now. There has been no public statement in that direction. We have not seen a movement of our armed forces there. So I would think in my mind that the public government considered the Guinea at the time that the border is for them. The land that they encroach upon is for them. And yeah, then it comes to the point of Yeke. If the government concedes that the land is for for the Guineans after over 200 years, then how come Yeke was impeached? He could be impeached for so many things Yeke has said. I'm not a fan of Yeke. I wish they could do that the process on so many counts, so he could. I mean, he could take his exit from the House of Representatives. From the legislature. So I think the government is just playing dumb. They're playing the lackadaisical attitude, nonchalant. We don't care. Why the public say, let it say. We got our. If it say they put an ambush, and I think they call it real cool. Be kidding, because we have seen no movement. You know what I mean? So our people.
Okay, so, and that I will highlight this comment by Jefferson Gray again. Do we really believe that? I was coming to that point when Francis said maybe Dumuya was like playing fun of the president. Then it came to my mind. Do you really believe that Dumuya will look at the president in the eyes and say, Mr. President, what is the situation at Budo? That alone will tell you that Dumuya is not in control. And Dumuya will not want to appear like he's not in control when he meets Pwaka. Dumuya will not behave like that. That guy's a street smart guy. We are seeing him.
I don't want to say the president, they will suggest that the president was economical with the truth.
Yeah,
I know.
You're trying to
it could be one of his everyday parable or satire. I don't know. one of his folklore that he goes about and casting on people.
Francis, I mean, this is a very good question that is asking. Let me tell you one thing. This president is good at telling stories, saying things that are not true. You're not going to say Bimela, Omela, especially when you Bime again. But the Ome can say some things that are not true all the time. So when he said that thing, even from the onset, I've been thinking all the time. And when you just say that the government is playing dumb or the Dumuya was trying to make fun of the president, no, I don't think Dumuya will not want to make fun. And the president, if you ask Dumuya, you say, I never said that. I mean, it doesn't make sense that Francis said, we're in conflict, okay? Maybe learn conflict. Then I come to Francis and say, my man, how they learn? I mean, how the situation will, I should know. Because this is a conflict between you and I. So how would I ask you as if I'm a total stranger to the whole situation? Okay. And number two, I'll highlight the other comment that Jefferson made, that it is now a secret that the opposition in Liberia is weak. Now, it's true the opposition is weak, because I want to believe that if the opposition really want to be serious, this border issue should be the key point that the opposition will base on to actually bring this government to its knees in short term. Because you can rally the Liberian people, just not only Liberian people, but just the people of Lofa County, who was losing land, the Lofa people, whose economy is being affected, the Lofa people, whose people are being displaced. Especially the rainy season is here, almost. We're almost in June, July. So you can rally these people and the government will be forced to say something. But since this thing happened, the government is not saying anything, nobody can hear from them. It's like, the usual thing. And there is something called conscious innocence. So you know what is happening, then you act like you don't know. So the government has been playing conscious innocence. They want to act like they know what's going on at all, that there's no issue at the border. Like I said before, more and they take their pay, they move on. So, but let's say welcome to Paul. I think Paul is
Paul
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know whether it's my internet.
I might be delayed. I'm going to get out and come back.
Oh, I thought Paul was in mine or somewhere
Okay.
else. You're on another planet.
Yeah, but I think we need to keep Paul on so he can. He's still trying to struggle. Paul is trying. Paul else? Okay. Yeah, but while Paul is away, let me play one quick jingle. Let's introduce Paul. Maybe Paul we need to say that Paul is coming back on the show. So let's play this and then we'll come back.
In a world drowning in noise, where sound bites replace substance, there's a voice cutting through the chaos. Audience with the Lord Chola Play conversation, where Liberians and global citizens tackle the questions we're afraid to ask. Every Sunday at 8 p.m. UK and Liberian time, and 9 p.m. Central European time, Audience with Lord Chola Play. On the Bottom Line, Liberia explores the issues that keep you up at night. Democracy's future in the age of misinformation. Economic systems that serve people, not just profits. Technology reshaping our lives. Reconciliation, development, and the crisis of meaning in modern Liberia. No easy answers, no tribalism, just intellectual courage, genuine curiosity, and the willingness to wrestle with complexity together. This is for Liberians who refuse to shrink their thinking, who believe nuance is wisdom, who are ready to remember how to think, not just what to think. Audience with the Lord Chola Play Show. Sunday, 8 p.m. Liberian time. Subscribe now. Join the conversation on the Bottom Line Liberia, because the questions that matter most are the ones we're brave enough to ask.
And welcome. In a couple of seconds or minutes, Paul will be joining us, or like I said, the catchers will play out sometimes to do their own thing, but still, they say only we can move. So, I strongly want to believe and side with what Jefferson wrote here, that Dumuya gets security briefing every day. And let me tell you, number one, Dumuya will not amass troops at the border and don't know what they're doing, why they are there, and what is our progress, their challenges, their failures or whatever. So he gets security briefing every day. And I want to believe what Jefferson is saying here. Jefferson, thank you for your sound contributions to this show. So for our president to look at us in the face and tell us that, Dumuya asked me today, just this morning when you were granting that interview with France 24, that, Dumuya looked at me this morning and he asked me, Mr. President, how is the situation at the border? How does that sound? And the reason I said that the president sometimes say things that are not true. Just in a scene, Lufa, in foyer time, in his own town, in the president's own backyard, that Ojantante project is on our way. I don't know whether it's completed, but the president will come and tell the Liberian people that he didn't know about that project. Then his deputy information minister will come and say, oh no, that's an ECOWAS project. But then in a couple of days, they change it from ECOWAS project to Mano Rural Union project. And then the president will come back in another interview and tell the Liberian people that, oh yeah, this is a Mano Rural Union security. So, with all these things, if you connect all the dots, you'll get to know that there are inconsistencies in some of what the president said. And this is not just the first time. Before he became president, when they had a case with the CPP, he and Mr. Cummings and all the guys, all of them were in the CPP. When time came, when they had confusion, they went to court. The president looked at Cummings, who first headed the CPP as an organization of which was he looked at the court, the people, and told them, say, I don't know this man. Hey, go. Even if you blame him, if you come from the group of 77,
Now, Peter, now.
The people
Do you know, do you know Jesus? Remember Peter, yeah, Jesus. Do you know Jesus?
I never see that. And this is the same man who he was fighting for in the garden against me when they went to arrest him. He went out to call the people here and say no.
Just for the fun of it, when the man said he didn't know coming, the lightning strike in the over the building, bro.
But you know, so as a leader, I think as a leader, you got the entire country on your shoulders, on your head. You carry it. If you fall down, all of us fall. If you walk straight, we all will go to we'll arrive safely to our destination. You know, the other day I made a comment here. I said, if you take a blind man to making a parlor, well, the man is flying the plane, you're all on board. So go, you know, because it means that you don't care for yourself. Okay, because the last man I'll make a parlor for me will be a blind man. This man sitting in the cockpit, he know what he's doing, maybe guessing, touching the landing button while the plane is moving, cruising at 36,000 feet. Then he pressing the landing button and why they call it. So, you know, it's dangerous. And this is where we found ourselves as Liberians. And the decision comes from what I call the weakness of democracy. Because democracy should have set that standard where not just any majority of people can come and make a decision, but democracy left that space open, that the stupid majority can make a decision that will affect the entire group, the wise one all involved. Again, it comes to the rain falling on the wise and the fools, on the bad and the good. But Francis, I don't know. I want to ask you one more question. And you are not supposed to answer correctly or wrongly. Should some prominent Liberians sue this government? You know, because this is no way we'll get to know. The government will not allow people to demonstrate. The government will clamp down on demonstrators if they want to know the fact at the border. And they say we are assembling at the Capitol building or where else, at the mansion. The government will not allow them. They will beat people, they will tear gas people. But the easiest way is to either go to the ECOWAS code or the AU, because this is affecting our people. So should the citizens, I mean, I don't know. Why do you think the country should be
the easiest way to put it, the only person people listen to that Trump, that people go and big Trump to ask the president, not trying to get ultimatum. I gave Joe 2 days to answer that question. Oh, he don't know. So the point they just don't respect no legal entity, the ECOWAS Court, the Supreme Court, the Tama Court. They just don't respect it. So
the TV Court.
Yeah, the only thing they got to do is to go to petition Trump beseeching, implore Trump, get your knees on that Liberians go there and ask Trump. They got oppositions on that. They got the connections. Yeah, you know, in the White House, in the U.S. House of Representatives, connected to Republicans or whatever. The only way you get answer, because any other means, any other avenue that you try to navigate, try to go to, you won't get an answer. I think the only answer is straight jacket Trump. And Trump can say, make us speak good English, he happy. So Trump can be a simple person asking, you know, my man, what's going on with the border? I need answer in 24 hours. They may will cough. You say, you tell well, they will tell you what's going on. You know, so yeah.
Okay. I think it will reach a point where.
No, go ahead. No. I don't.
I think it will reach a. Yeah, I think it will reach a point where the people of Liberia, the opposition, will have to just stand up and do something. And this one is not about opposition trying to find fault with the government. It's about opposition trying to fight in the interest of the nation. You see, what's happening? This thing, Liberia could lose that piece of land permanently to Guinea. I mean, and this could set a bad precedence, right? That the people just march on your land. Hey, man. Even if you're around the people just march on your land with force and kill and settle and nothing happened. The next group that could do it will be the Sierra Leoneans. They could cross that river and come. The Ivorian could do the same thing. Guinea Pie, I mean, they'll get used to it. Maybe the next place will take the commercial hub of Ghana, Ganta.
Yeah.
And they just move in. So what will we do? We'll be losing land. But let me welcome a couple of people, then we can go. Tuan Gray, thanks for joining us. Emerson Sari, I didn't welcome you. Journalist David K. Bia, you always here. Abdullah Kia, welcome. But let's consider this, folks. This one is no politics. Let's forget about politics, right? Let's look at this thing seriously from the top. Guinea, no matter how we run Guinea, no matter what, for them to just march on the land and they're sitting there, and our government is doing absolutely nothing. They're telling us, oh no, we're doing diplomacy. Yes, I do suggest military action. That should be the last resort. But how much are we doing diplomatically? Number one. Number two, what do we hope to achieve? How long are we going to allow the Guineans to stay there? So if we've been talking to them directly and nothing happening, what is the next step? Should we just continue to talk to them, or should we go to Ronald Reward Union or ECOWAS or somewhere? So I think, Francis, you made it right thing. You know, sometimes, you see, I remember during the war, I was not in Liberia after 1998 when I left Liberia. So the rest of the wars that came, that they learned and whatever, but the war continued. And Taylor was still president, but George Bush gave ultimatum to Taylor. Say go, and Taylor said, okay, I will leave if I am the problem. He left. And I think this is how the war ended. So if Taylor had said, no, I'll still be there, I think the war would have continued. See it? So I think we need to revisit that page of history where the biggest power that we depend on after God is America. So if Trump would say, well, Joe, you were with me the last time you spoke good English. I like your English. But now I don't understand what's going on. I understand there's a crisis at the border. Why are you not telling the Liberian people the fact? Or why aren't you taking actions? You know, because all the Liberian people want to see is, we want to know what's going on. Nobody's telling anything. Let me see what Francis said. No, why take your country problem when you have constitution? No, brother, the constitution does not work. The government does not respect the constitution. You know, the federal constitution says that after there is vacancy created in the House of Representatives in case of death, resignation, and expulsion, like what happened to Yage Koluba, the federal legislatures that make a law have 30 days to inform the NEC about that vacancy. It's going 30 days now saying Yage expulsion, May 17, or April 17 to May 17. Okay, Sunday, that was the 30 days. And they are not informed the Elections Commission. And within 90 days, with the 30 days included, they should have informed NEC so that NEC will announce it. And then we that want to run, we start running. We start running our campaign. But they have not done it. I know you have fans who would have even wanted to run it. But on a serious note, you see, this government does not respect the rule of law. That's why when Francis said from the start that, you know, they always try to go around the constitution. They find a way around. When it's blocking them, they go around it. But when it's in a field, they want to execute it. So the question here is not whether we are bypassing the process to go to ECOWAS or to go to Trump or to go to whoever power we got. But the fact is that our government would not respect the very ECOWAS that we even had here on. This ECOWAS has rendered some decisions in cases before, and the government refused to abide by it. So, Francis, I think you made it right, the right proposal. If we can go to Trump, because Trump will not waste time. Trump will give ultimatum. Maybe the next morning he might tell the American embassy, give some order. We don't know why my father, but it has to be the opposition that will have to take that step. And this time, it's not about opposition trying to trying to make the government to look bad, but it's about fighting for the interest of the country. We are losing land. Who knows which part of the border? As you know, we got long border with Guinea, Ivory Coast, and Sierra Leone. So any of the countries can step over the border and say, well, we're taking the part belongs to us. And what we'll do, because militarily we are not prepared. Francis, any thoughts? Do you have any thoughts? You are muted. Oh, okay. I think Francis is in our conversation. Very important call. But like I was saying, we have to, the opposition now, we have to wake up. This time around is not about opposition trying to bring down the government. No, it's about fighting for the interest of the country. This is the real time to rescue. You know, and when I look at the name of the government, the UP government, and when I look at the acronym rescue, okay, and then when I look at their arrest agenda, this is the time to rescue the country where you're losing land that belongs to your people. People have been living on that land, Liberians, for years. And some group just walk there. They didn't kill anybody. They didn't fight anybody. You didn't fight them. They didn't fight you. They just come and take it. And you sit there watching a term of diplomacy. You should be doing something. No. They say sometimes if peace cannot prevail, that brutality prevail. I mean, we know our citizens will die. If we engage the Guineans, they will also die. But what can we do? Should we say, oh no, we don't want our citizens to die? Then why do we have a military? Because if I sign up to be a military man, two things, live or die. I'm not encouraging that, but again, it reaches a point where we have no option. And that's why sometimes I have problem with American policies sometimes when they go around, fighting war. But then you got to fight for your own interest. There is nobody. No, they go with depend on. They go your depend on. I've not seen that go come on every year and fight for anybody, or else Israel would not be struggling with other countries. Okay, because they say they are God's people. So you got to fight for yourself. You got to take your own case, your own danger on your shoulder. I remember when people were running away during the wartime, everybody was carrying what you want. The thing you think important for you. You not say, oh, my man, you can't go take my mattress and carry it for me. No. Your mattress is important. Everywhere you go, you sleep on it. You take it, you carry it. And, as I running, we all running, I will see people struggling with some rotten old mattress. When the papa said the smell can almost knock you off. But they felt that was important for them. That was their interest. I mean, just a short story. I think Francis will come in. When I ran away from Monrovia, we ended up in Habel. And luckily for us, I was traveling with one of my cousins and his friend. And this friend of my cousin knew some of the boys that were assigned in Habel. Right to the checkpoint, right to the hospital. We slept right at Dusa Hospital. And I remember the guys cooked some rice. We ate it, that's some done, some not done. Then they put some in a handkerchief. They gave, I think, 3 cups of rice. We tie it in a handkerchief. I said, remember, I was the smallest boy. So I had that rice on my head. To walk from Dusa Hospital to 15 Gate and then head into Kagata, all the checkpoint we passed through. The biggest thing, attraction was our rice. Everywhere we reached, because at that time, no food, so she walking down on the road. You walking, you can see the quota road. So when we reached all the checkpoint we passed, the guy didn't want to take it right. We would struggle with them, we beg them. So when we reached 15 Gate, it was too much. They didn't want to take it right. We said, no, beg them. So they let us go. Then my cousin, brother, they added, say, my man, they never will reach, let's go get rest here because the rest could lead out them. Let's go get rest, we eat it, being our stomach, nobody can see it. And that's what we did. And so you see, you got priority. There are certain things that you can't just let go. Our land is our priority. You can't let it go. We don't know what happened. And one thing is also failing to tell. And this is where the opposition also supposed to stand up again and wake up. Why are these people on our land? What is happening? What is government hiding from? Or why the government can't tell us? Even if there are influential people who can go to Guinea and talk.
Look,
Yeah,
Guinea,
man, go ahead, man.
we have spoken about this for a while. But another trending issue in the country is this. It was in the inquiry that the House of Representatives, they are calling this guy to appear. They call it Ambassador Sheikh Kuyate.
D. Kuyate.
Yeah, for I don't know. He said the legislature is corrupt. He said generally he didn't name any individual, and so they have summoned him to court. To come to to verify his claim, to provide evidence. And he said he wanted a public hearing. I don't know what he means, but so it's kind of concerning nowadays, where people are being, summoned for everything they say in the country. I don't think it's healthy for our democracy. I don't think it's healthy for the freedom of speech. I know people say that with freedom of speech there comes responsibility, but I don't think it's healthy at all. So this is a sign of we are gravitating towards what do you call it? Mostly of people. Oh yeah, it's not. I want to say autocracy, but I think the House of Representatives, they are wielding so much power onto themselves, and it's very concerning nowadays because they have enough power already, and then they're trying to wield that other power onto themselves. That nothing can be said against them, even if that's an allegation, even an assumption, So so I don't know what's your take on that.
Yeah, okay, you are right. They say when the tiger ready to go on a rampage, he ready to get wild or apply to a lion or whatever, he can eat one people first. They started with Yeke Kolba there. One of that, they set an example that you're not supposed to say anything against us, or you're not supposed to show that you are that tough guy, the smartest guy, or whatever. So, they want everybody to be the dummy. And this is the danger. Again, I'll talk about democracy, the danger of democracy. For those of you who feel that democracy is the best thing, for me, I think especially for Africa, it is the worst thing. Because the people who are not supposed to be leading you, they are immaturity, they can lead you. If you look at the lawmakers from both houses, half of them, they are the ruling party. And besides that, even those that were in opposition or that came to power on the wings of opposition, because of this greed, they are all sitting in a backseat of the leading party. So whatever the president wants, he gets away with it. The first thing I would say, and somebody I was just talking casually, and the person told me, said, listen, your lawmakers do not know what they're doing. Number one, some of them they do not know their functions. They don't know that they are a branch of government by themselves, and they can hold the executive accountable. They can even hold the judiciary accountable. But they don't know. So all they know, when the president says, let's do this, everybody will do it. That is the executive. I don't want to pinpoint the president, right? But they are all in the pockets of the executive, to the point where we saw it play out during the Kofa case. Why in the hell that lawmakers who are supposed to be separate branch by themselves will go and even receive money, allegedly receive money, to be able to vote for decision to be taken, okay, in the interest of the executive, and the executive confirmed it by saying that we will work with the people who are on our side, the majority. So the whole thing is clear, Francis. And my thought on it is that it is very bad for our country. The fact that majority of the lawmakers are in the backseat of the executive branch convoy is very bad. They will always agree with everything they say, and they will always do what the executive wants. And this is bad.
No, but Kuyate is an executive ambassador. I mean, if he's from the executive branch, he's
just one person, brother. He's
the ambassador that was.
Yeah, so, he is just giving his opinion.
Yeah,
he is just giving his opinion, like a Yaka Koluba who was legislator giving his opinion and see where it led Yaka to. So, Ambassador Kuyate, in as much as he's saying the right thing, may just be risking his job. The next thing you hear, Kuyate will be recalled, because right after his hearing, where they're calling him to go to appear to justify why he said this, the next thing, the president might recall him, because the president and these legislators are working together. And so that's what I'm saying. This is a danger. You think if that horse was controlled, if both horses were controlled by the opposition, all these things would not happen. In fact, and let me get forget about opposition. But people who know that function, committed people, because the opposition, I mean, I'm surprised that even people from the ANC, people from other parties are all dancing to the tune of the ruling party. It's all because of greed. This is to show that these people do not know what they're doing. They go there to get rich. And this is where the voters got to know. And again, yeah, we'll put it squarely on in the laps of the voters. But what you want the voters to do? They have tried everybody. They've done everything. Every time they can Harry will come and promise. When they get there, they do the wrong thing. So now we blame the voters. But again, you can't blame them because they're not opening the minds of these people. They don't read inside their brain what's in their heart. I can go today and say, oh, you know, look at Dillon. The may also be the lie. But he wasn't Keno. I mean, the dullest Keno, the cheapest Keno. So the voters, I mean, they are fatigued. So they will just do anything now. And then we'll come back to this thing, what I said earlier on what the people said, but what we'll do now. Let's just wait until their 6 years finish. So, Francis, you're right. You are very right. But what can you add to it?
It's like
Yeah, Paul is struggling in the background, but we'll soon be concluding though. Let me see if I can add Paul to this. Okay, I think Paul is struggling. But again, you're right, Francis. And Alfonso Tari is saying something here. He says everyone is waiting for someone else to take action. People told Doe to go. He lost legitimacy then. Why can't we? Yeah, I mean, brother, you're right. People say, oh, Monkey can down and Joe can down. But yes, people told him to go. Yes. So it's the same process we're talking about. Somebody must take action, brother. Somebody has to do it. Somebody who got power. It's not an ordinary Joe Blow.
I mean, we know the repercussions of such an action, such a what do you call it? A mass protest against a president. Why it led to on 2 occasions. So our Liberian psyche, people in Liberia, they are not ready for that. That they are not conditioned. Their minds are not conditioned to understand the repercussions of such an action. Because I mean, we see things that led to that protest still occurring in the country. We cannot what we call it, we have a volatile situation in terms of security. And things could go amok. People, and and the economy of our country is, cannot accept that. I mean, withstand those shocks, emanating from emanating from such an action, mass protests, or that would lead to the toppling of the government. So I don't think that would be the right approach. With the intent to topple the government, let the government go. You could protest in that direction to attract the government's attention, but with the intent to unseat the government, that's a problem. I see.
No, but I think what Francis is trying to say is not really actually going that direction where or protest to unseat the government, which is very impossible. The government has everything. The government has the state security, the military, the police.
He said people to do to go. And he lost.
Yeah, it's simple. I
so
mean,
what led to that? When you lost legitimacy, well, it leads to what I know, violence and anarchy. That's what it leads to, So,
but let's welcome Paul. What up, Paul? Can hear? Oh, Paul, do you hear us?
Welcome, Paul, for the last 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah, good evening, loud and clear. Good evening, gentlemen. It's good to be back.
They are having dinner with Frank King Charles.
No, yeah, I got caught up in a situation at work and I was late. So when I got home, but it's good that the show is on. I've been following, trying to reach, but then internet started playing. But it's good to see all of you here. And I've been following the discussion as well. And to our viewers, I see in the comments that it's kind of good show tonight. So, but I just want to let you all know, I'm very happy today as well that we are officially the champion of the United Kingdom. Arsenal is the champion. City drew a game, so Arsenal have been declared champion officially. So I will be celebrating on Sunday.
Yeah, because we won our game yesterday. One day.
Yeah.
Anyway, drink the Jack Daniels now.
Yeah, so Sunday. But anyway, guys, I heard your discussion. Let me not put football into this to spoil it. I just excited. I just want to get it out of the way. Yeah. So I was following your discussion on the situation with Yeke, the situation with the government. All that. Look, the thing is, let me just give my 1 cent on it. The Yeke situation, Yeke is still a representative because if you don't do things, the case stay in the Supreme Court, so they cannot declare Yeke's seat as vacant. That's where they got caught up because what they didn't do it right. And it became constitutional matter because he had been accused of treason. Treason, then mean it's constitutional thing. So it's in court until the court can find Yeke guilty of treason then. So Yeke is still representative, so they cannot declare his seat. So our God Francis said the government, it for their mouth, the way they were going, it caught up with them. So they just got stuck one place and they don't know how to handle this situation. And it will backfire everywhere because reports, they had to call it the international report that usually come on the government depending to get money from the US, or all of these things will be filtered into that report. So they got caught up in a situation. And with the border issue, guys, you forget the border thing. Liberia government sold the land to Guinea. That's the bottom line of this. So because they sold the land, they can't say anything. 3 months on, if you say you do diplomacy, we'll see the movement. You don't have to tell people what you're doing, but we'll see ECOWAS calling meeting. We'll see the Honorable Union. We'll even see the AU calling or UN, but everything just quiet. So that means, look, the land is gone. the map of Liberia going to be new, is different. So we just forget it. And pretty soon our sisters in Lofa will be called Fabmata, Fanta, Coca-Cola. Their name will be changed. You forget about Lofa County is gone. The government sold the place. So Yeke was right, and this is why if Yeke was wrong, yeah.
Paul, let me ask you. Let me ask you. So, do you think Dumuya, actually, according to the president's interview on France 24, do you think Dumuya actually look at the president in the face and ask him, Mr. President, how's the situation at the border? Knowing that Dumuya is a military man, number one, he deployed his troops, he gave them mandate, he should get briefing every day, security briefing, military briefing. You think the president was actually saying the truth? Now, before you answer the question, let me give you a few clues. The same president told us that the project in Lufa, he knew about it. Later he came back to say that Manuel project. The same president did not convince who he been working with for long, even the new Israel in school, he said he knew him. The same president said when he become president, you will not buy a expensive car, you'll be riding wheelbarrow that just speaking idiomatically. But with all this, the president cannot say the things that are true all the time. You always say something else. Do you really believe that Dumuya asked the president that question?
Linfa, I told you on the program, if you remember, I said Joseph Newman Barker, my president, is a granddaddy, he's a storyteller. And a storyteller will always come up with a story. That thing is just, I think he misspoke. Let me be honest. He misspoke. Instead of he saying that, oh, he asked Dumuya, but then the question was, how can I be the invader? Then I will ask you, how's the land? It doesn't make sense. So the person, I think he misspoke. In other words, that I think he just decided to say something. He was confused with to answer that question. I may say that's why he said what he said. But
he was just trying to be Joe Barker who does not say the truth.
Exactly. So that's one thing. So I think, look, guys, let's be honest. The land is gone. Nobody will come in my house, take my living room, and then my wife, children, everybody saying, but when the people leaving and say, no, I was talking to my neighbors for the neighbors to get it out, but the neighbors said, I don't know what's happening. Because if you follow the Air Force meeting that Edwin Snow went to, those guys are saying they're not even aware of what Liberia is doing. So just tell, what kind of diplomacy Air Force is not even aware?
Okay, so Francis is saying, on the question of what can we do now, because the first thing, we don't even know why the Guineans are on our soil, number one. That's a major question. Number two, what are we doing to get them off? When are they leaving? So, but Francis is saying, because we follow us. I asked Francis, what can we do now? So Francis said, maybe we can go to a bigger power like Mr. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, who gave ultimatum. He will not go through any kind of diplomacy and say, oh, you'll go have meeting. You say, what is happening? What are you doing? Can you do this? So
no, I don't think we need Donald Trump. The thing is, look, they say one woman alone does not born crazy child. If Dumuya think he's crazy, Liberia get more crazy people. The fact is, if you want more tension, just send only 500 men to that border. ECOWAS themselves, they will jump on, they will intervene. But the fact is that
it will be the liberation where they brought ECOMOR.
Exactly. They will be afraid because the tension now, if the BBC will carry it, all of these news will carry it that something is going to happen on the Liberian and Guinea border. And I don't think ECOWAS want to hear that. So as you keep quiet and you're thinking that they first get picking in Guinea, that you can burn 2 times, demanding, taking land, your land. I mean, this is complete nonsense. I see what Mona is saying, consider her age. Yeah, we'll consider our granddad age, but granddad not proceeding good.
Okay, but just, Paul, you and Francis.
My man, I think they call power, I know power past strength. You can't find that man. You can't find that man that we working with call-outs.
No. You know, we got some weapons.
Yes, Sonny. Yes, first of all, let me ask him. He just said something, or I mean, the two of you, anybody can take a shot. He just said we should, one woman can born crazy Chinatown, right? We too should act crazy. But the question is, why are we acting crazy? What really happened? Why did people in our living room and taking, because the children will ask you, Papa, what are people doing here? But you know that maybe you owe the mayor or you finish selling your house to him and the mayor can't sit in your house, but you want to tell your children. Then your children will go start fighting the mayor. So instead of all going to act crazy, so why we can't ask our father what happened?
You see, before this is the point. The fact is, our father is saying journalists shouldn't go there to find out what's happening.
So something wrong.
Something wrong. They sold the land. That means the RCA because they refuse to talk to us.
So why would we be going to act crazy when our father? Who's act crazy?
It's the father who sort of gave all the comments say you go act crazy, but because he sold the land, he can't say you go act crazy.
But who sold act crazy owner?
But this is so the land gonna go because he is the one that's supposed to give that order, and he's not gonna give it. And he telling he said diplomacy, and the diplomacy nobody see him working. So we'll be talking on it until Christmas. The guys really taking the land. And look, there's something that France that their News 24. They would not just interview Liberia for nothing. Remember Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, they kicked France out. This young man in Guinea is now the bulldog for France. France desperately need mineral research. And that local county that you see, look, the government of Liberia announced to the nation in January that Liberia, they had discovered a lot of mineral for 25 years. It was a steady carry up. And those minerals, part of it, they use it for electric cars. Liberia have it. So this young man coming into Liberia, that particular place that he going, they found out something, there's mineral there. And France now telling them, sit there and protect that place from us. If you follow the thing good, that's what our government are talking.
That's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy theory. On that note, I want to see you guys. I will see you guys.
Francis, you see what happened when you have a government that does not talk to people. People can come up with all the conspiracy in the world until the government is clear. So I just told you, say the government sold the land because they're not talking to us. You see what I'm heading? So why is it a young man so brave to sit there? He disrespect. In Africa, we respect our elders, right? But if they're for the 2-year-old boy, what the papa can born, tell me what the hell is going on?
You see, I think why Francis is trying to dispel your conspiracy, but I want to also believe it. Let me tell you, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. And I will tell you something. The Guinean will not just wake up and have bad dream about us. That piece of land has been there for thousands of years, and they say, okay, today we won't take it. I mean, to the point where the guy was brave enough to bring that soil there in Kino.
Guys, I have to leave.
We see. I mean, we are wrapping up. We have only 2 more minutes to be there.
Please. Link out with me with the names and things that we're discussing, but link out with me.
In fact, I'll do that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Have a nice day. We'll see you on Friday. So
okay, guys.
So Paul, like I was saying, the Guineans did not just wake up and have bad dream about us and say, okay, we're going to Liberia, we're going to take our land. No. Something happened. And until we can know what happened, and it's a messy situation. It's too messy, Paul. I mean, imagine that we don't know anything. So even if we were to send troops to go fight, the people will go fight. They know what they're fighting for. Maybe somebody, it could be us who did the wrong thing, or it could be the Guinean who did the wrong thing. and somebody went die for no reason. You see, so I don't know, man. I get confused.
Before the land is gone. Look, the thing is the land is gone. That's the bottom line of it. The land is gone. So I said it, you said diplomacy fine. In the first month of that crisis, in the first week, ECOWAS should have gone to Liberia. Imagine Barca and Manabio flew to Guinea. The following week, ECOWAS should have called an emergency meeting. Nothing as such happening. We're getting the 4th month of this crisis, but the government of Liberia keep telling say we having silent diplomacy. Nobody knows. The ECOWAS parliament is asking Liberia parliamentarian your updates, give an update of the land issue. Snowden can't give it because the government too not telling them. And Snowden refused to call the executive to question them about the land issue. So you see where we headed? There's something they know. We don't know, but the land is gone.
It's gone.
Land is gone.
Because if the Guineans were not intending to take our land, they would not be building something there for the soldiers to be there.
The land is gone.
I mean, just imagine how sinful it would be for the Guineans to be leaving and to be breaking that whole thing behind them. I mean, it's all about pride. They said, oh, we came here, we sat down here, then you're telling us to leave, then we start breaking our structures.
Yeah.
Well, sadly enough, it happened, but I don't know what president this government said.
If this thing happened in Maryland, Nima, Sano, it will be different story. But the Lothian, because their son is the president, they won't do anything. They believe in the travelers thing that, oh, it's our uncle. But if it was Nima County, Grand Crew, and those places, whether you're from there, it will be different things. Somebody can't sit on your land for 3 months and the government not do anything. I mean, with the people, you call us the
Guineans can cross into any other country, not Nima country.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
The Guineans can cross into any border country, but not Nima country. They will not do it.
That's what I'm saying. You can't try that thing with a crew and global. They will go after you. But the Lothian thing is
not even in one country. They will not try.
Yeah.
One country people, they are calm people. One country also shared border with Nima. I mean, with I call it Guinea. They will not try it. But again, you see, and that's why I say sometimes, you know, if you pick force, Paul, they're gonna fight. It's hard to fight. So we may have been wrong. So it's hard for us to even put up resistance because we are wrong. If the case goes further, this is where the government is start because it's us Liberians that pick a force. And that mineral money accusation that they're making, I think is true. And Bwaka inside that thing, or else he would have taken action.
My man, let's close the show. You're being
It was good. It was good to have you, Paul. We had very interesting discussions and we had good comments as well. So I want to encourage all of you Friday and Paul is going to also be here on Sunday. So Francis will be here as well as I think on Saturday as well. So we hope that you follow the Bottomline Liberia discussions all the time. And we want to thank all of our viewers this evening. Muna Clipper, our strong follower, Jefferson Gray, you made some very good comments. David, the journalist. And David, you are a journalist. You should post some great information here so we can follow. Abdullah Kia, as well as John Sonkale, Jordi Sharif, Alex Newa, Sumato. There was a lot of people that left their comments here. I want to say thank you for following us. And Paul, what do we expect on Sunday?
Well,
Sunday is still far.
Sunday is still far, and I'm trying to get one of the comrades on the program here, Dr. Dubenya, or the situation that is happening. So I sent him a message and waiting to get back to him when he confirmed that we might have him on Sunday. So we're learning a lot of people for the Sunday show as well.
Okay, so in any case, for those of you who have chance on Sunday, you can jump on the Lord Children Play. It's on the same platform, the Bottomline Liberia discussions. Only the title of that particular program is different, but it's hosted as part of the Bottomline Liberia discussion. It's called Audience with the Lord Children Play. And so, just before we leave you, we'll remind you about what that is. Paul, any other final word?
Well, I just want to say thanks to our audience for being with us tonight. Although I came late, our father read most of the comments, and we'll be back here on Friday. By God's willing, we'll have a full house on Friday. So I just want to say good night to everybody, and it was great having them over.
Okay, thank you so much. And so this is what Paul has for you on Sunday.
In a world drowning in noise, where sound bites replace substance, there's a voice cutting through the chaos. Audience with the Lord Chola Play conversation, where Liberians and global citizens tackle the questions we're afraid to ask. Every Sunday at 8 p.m. UK and Liberian time, and 9 p.m. Central European time, Audience with Lord Chola Play. On the Bottom Line, Liberia explores the issues that keep you up at night. Democracy's future in the age of misinformation. Economic systems that serve people, not just profits. Technology reshaping our lives. Reconciliation, development, and the crisis of meaning in modern Liberia. No easy answers, no tribalism, just intellectual courage, genuine curiosity, and the willingness to wrestle with complexity together. This is for Liberians who refuse to shrink their thinking, who believe nuance is wisdom, who are ready to remember how to think, not just what to think. Audience with the Lord Cholo Play Show. Sunday, 8 p.m. Liberian time. Subscribe now. Join the conversation on the Bottom Line Liberia, because the questions that matter most are the ones we're brave enough to ask.